You don't know the power of the dark side.
May the Force be with you.
I have a very bad feeling about this.
We would be honored if you would join us.
There has been an awakening. Have you felt it?
Chewie, we're home.
I have you now.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Force Talk podcast, where we talk about all things Star Wars, from the movies to TV shows and everything in between. Just FYI, we just recorded about 5 minutes of audio without actually recording it, so we're going over that first 5 minutes again now. My name is Trey Mitchell, and I'm joined here by my co-host Josh, and also joined by a longtime friend of the show and participant, Tanner Wood. Tanner, how are you doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you for having me back again.
Dude, it feels like deja vu, you know, because we just did this 5 minutes.
It does.
So Tanner hasn't been on the show for a little bit. So Tanner, what were your brief thoughts on Rogue One?
I'm a big fan of Rogue One. I thought it was really fun. You know, I didn't quite like it as much as I did like The Force Awakens, but that third act is absolutely killer, and it's some of that in stuff with like Vader, some of the best stuff in Star Wars history for me. So overall, I really liked it.
Yeah, that like Vader scene in particular is the best thing he's ever done. And to think that wasn't even in the movie for like in the script for most of it is kind of just shocking.
Yeah, it's glad that they changed that. Definitely.
I can't imagine like if they just didn't have that movie would have been so much worse for me. Just that 1 minute and a half scene is like you feel so good about it being so evil.
Mm-hmm. You're kind of waiting for the whole movie to see what they do with them, so it would have been kind of disappointing if we didn't get anything at all.
I mean, it's like having Alien Covenant and then not having the alien. Like, just the Covenant.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Just the Covenant.
Just,
yeah, definitely.
Just the Covenant and, you know, the engineers, even though they weren't really, you know. But, okay, so now, if you guys haven't heard, there has been a lot of news in regards to Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Vanity Fair posted this whole article, and they're having a magazine on the newsstand shelves. I think it's end of May. I think it's May either 29th or 30 or 31st. Wait, no, May only has 30 days. So it's probably 29th, and we're just kind of gonna go into that for the majority of the show. So first things first, let's talk about some of the stuff in the Vanity Fair article, and then we'll go into some of the pictures and kind of explain all those. So the first thing, Mark Hamill really wanted the old crew. 1 second, I'm gonna sneeze. I'll edit that out. Okay. Allergies suck. So first things first, Mark Hamill really wanted the old crew, Carrie, Harrison, and himself, to be together at Han's death by Ben Solo. So, quote, so I thought it would have been more effective, and I still feel this way, though it's just my opinion that Leia would have made it as far as she can, and right when she is apprehended, even maybe facing death, but boom, I come in and blow the guy away. And the two of us go where Han is facing with his son, but we're too late. The reason that's important is that we witnessed his death, which carries enormous personal resonance in the next picture. And then one more thing, there's a new character named Paige, who's played by Veronica No, and is the sister of Rose, played by Kelly Marie Tran. So, Tanner, you hear the first thing that Mark Hamill thinks would have been better if Luke and Leia were at Han's death. Do you agree with him, or do you think it was handled well in The Force Awakens?
One of the things that bothered me about The Force Awakens, and I really like the movie, like I'm a huge fan of it, and one of the small things that kind of bothered me was that we never got to see Han, Luke, and Leia like side by side again. That's a moment that I was kind of waiting for the whole movie that I never got. But I feel like that also doesn't fit with the direction. What Mark wants doesn't really fit with the direction that they're taking Luke, because he is, you know, he's someone who's gone off and he's not necessarily hiding, but he's just away. He's so detached from everything that's going on right now. And it seems that The Last Jedi is going to be really touch on a lot of the things that we don't know where he's been and all that. But I think that that moment at the very end of The Force Awakens, when Rey goes up the mountain or whatever and gets to Luke and he turns and is like that moment is so powerful that I can't say I disagree with him, but I also can't agree with him at the same time. It's just I guess we all since Star Wars is such a popular movie franchise and we've all kind of had our idea of what an episode 7 would have been for however many years. So no one was ever going to get exactly what they wanted, and so I'm even though I would have liked to have seen what he said, I also am completely open to the direction that they've presented to me at the same time, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, for me, I think the scene where it would have been coolest for Luke to show up instead of the end is when the lightsaber flies past Kylo Ren and into Rey's hand.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I assumed was going to happen.
Was going to be Luke. I mean, at least part of us did. Josh, what do you think about Mark Hamill's comments, and do you agree with him or fundamentally disagree, as Mark Hamill's been saying?
I mean, it would have been cool to see them all together. Like, how I view it is, like, I don't know if it would have been better. Like Tanner said, I don't know if it would have been better for Luke to be there at Han's death, but, like, the only person I think that had to be at Han's death was Chewbacca. That's the only one I
think. Point.
Sure. But
yeah, I agree with that.
But, like, it would have been awesome to see them together. It sucks we're not going to see that now. Or, I mean, yeah, we're probably not going to see that now because I don't know how episode 8, if there's going to do there. But, I would have loved to see them together. But, I mean, I don't know if it would have been better if it not, like, if they did that. But, like, it's how it's working. Like, the movie was fine. Like, Force Awakens was great. And I don't know if they're going to, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying I kind of disagree with Mark Hamill, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, I just don't know how it would have fit the story. Like, as much as I wanted to see the original crew back together, it's like, well, then where do they go from that moment? Because then Rey wouldn't battle Kylo Ren because Luke would be there, so you would assume Luke would battle Kylo Ren. Then we wouldn't have Luke's character development, and she wouldn't have that step up where she really figures out the Force and the lightsaber, and we wouldn't have that epic ending. And I love the ending to The Force Awakens. It's my favorite part of the movie. Between the mixture of the Jedi Step song and just the scene itself, I think it's amazing, and I probably would rather have that than this proposed Mark Hamill scene, in all honesty.
I think what Mark Hamill is describing is an amazing moment, but it's just a moment, and once that happens, like, you get that moment, but you don't get anything else. And when you're making a movie, you can't just have moments. Yeah. You have to have everything that fits cohesively. And yeah, like that's a totally different Luke. Like, it seems like a Luke that we're having in The Last Jedi, and in this like sequel trilogy is a Luke that has to be convinced to come back, and that is not a Luke that needs to be convinced to come back. A Luke that would show up on Starkiller Base and save the day from everyone.
It's like trying to bring Tony Romo out of retirement. He's not just going to come back. You got to convince the guy to come back to a good situation. And I mean, I think the only way that they could have kind of created a perfect medium of the two, and I don't think they could have done this in The Force Awakens. I think they'll have to have a flashback in The Last Jedi of Luke's reaction to Han dying instantly, because we know Leia felt it through the Force. Luke had to feel something. He's the most powerful Jedi we think ever at this point. So he must. I mean, even if we just see a shot of him like falling to the ground, like in pain, the guy, he had to feel it, you know. So I think that's a situation where you can integrate him into that scene, and now you like, okay, Han died. We're gonna cut to Leia. We're gonna cut to Luke. But that wouldn't have worked in The Force Awakens because that would have taken away from the ending. And it just, I mean, Han and Leia had been in together in a scene in that movie, and Han and Luke hadn't. So if you just kind of put Luke in there, that would have been a little, oh my gosh, that's the first time we saw Luke. That like I don't think it would have fit well at all.
Yeah, it would have kind of felt kind of shoehorned in. But I also think that the thing that Mark Hamill says about how like I don't know his exact words, but like how effective or whatever it would have been for Luke to have seen him killed or whatever. I think if there's a scene in The Last Jedi that's like a funeral scene for Han and Luke is there, I think we can get a lot of that, what we would have gotten in something like that in a funeral scene, and I think something like that could pay off, maybe.
I'm 99% sure there's a funeral scene. just from what I've
I
heard.
think there will be 2. My only worry is that Luke won't be there. You know,
Yeah.
because he's so
I
off
don't
on
want
another
to say
planet.
spoilers, but I don't know about that. Okay.
All right.
I'm saying like I don't remember if he's there from what I've heard. But okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so then like another little news bite we heard. Among Ryan Johnson's inventions for The Last Jedi are 3 significant new figures. A quote shady character of unclear allegiances played by Benicio del Toro, who goes unnamed in the film but is called DJ by the filmmakers. And you'll see there's a reason why we call him DJ, Johnson said. A prominent officer in the Resistance named Vice Admiral Holdo, played by Laura Dern, and a maintenance worker for the Resistance named Rose Tico, who is played by a young actress named Kelly Marie Tran, and who is the sister of Paige, the character I witnessed in the scene with Poe Dameron. Trans is the largest new part, and her plotline involves a mission beyond enemy lines with Boyega's Finn, the stormtrooper turned Resistance warrior. So, 3 new characters. DJ, Vice Admiral Holdo. Hold on. My garage door is opening. 1 sec. This mic picks up everything, dude. Okay.
What mic is it?
Blue Yeti. And
okay.
I have a like a thing on top of it too, so it's not supposed to. But okay. So there are 3 pretty much new characters. There's DJ, which isn't even a name, but they call him DJ, and we'll get into that in a second. Vice Admiral Holdo and Rose. Josh, which of these 3 characters stick out to you? And I don't know why I asked that, because I know it's going to be DJ.
I mean, of course, it's Benicio del Toro as DJ. I mean, it's obvious he's going to be an underground DJ at like a club or something.
DJ Khaled, like Mission Impossible. He takes off his Benicio del Toro face, and then out of nowhere he becomes DJ Khaled. He's like, another one. Star Wars movie. Episode 8, another one.
That'd be great. There's an end credit scene, and it's just like the episode 9 is just another one.
He's at the place in Attack of the Clones where the guy tries to sell death sticks. You just see DJ Khaled in the background. It's like, this is for you, Assad. Okay, so actually on to DJ, not Khaled.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I mean, it's cool. I guess like it's like so he has an unnamed. They're not actually naming him, and they're just his nickname is DJ. So, okay, that's interesting. I mean, I heard a little bit like some people are saying maybe Dark Jedi, but I don't think that's true. I don't think. I'm pretty sure Benicio is not going to be a Jedi or Dark or Sith or whatever in the movie. I think maybe he's. Didn't they say? Wasn't there like a report that there was going to be kind of like casinos in this movie?
Well, that's a brand new planet called Canto Bight.
Okay, so I think Benicio, from the photo, it looks like, I think Benicio will be in around that area, and he'll probably be like a kind of bounty hunter kind of character. I don't know, just from guessing, but he's definitely the one that sticks out to me out of the 3 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same boat as you, but Tanner, how about you?
Yeah, probably Benicio del Toro. I love Benicio del Toro. I think he's a great actor. He looks kind of Blade Runner-y to me in that costume, but yeah, I love Benicio del Toro, and my one worry is that since he was cast, I was like, holy crap, that's amazing, because he's such a good actor that I'm worried they might collector him, or I like Guardians of the Galaxy, but Benicio del Toro is such a great actor that the fact that he's just the collector sometimes can get annoying, because he has so much to him. So hopefully he's not kind of a more throwaway character in the movie. But yeah, Benicio del Toro, I'm excited, and I think he looks cool. But I think Laura Dern, she looks kind of unique in the purple and stuff. That's something we haven't really seen. That, I guess, that bright of colors, and the other character, the sister of Rose, I forget her name already, even though you just said it. But that could be fun. You know, family in Star Wars, there should be family.
Her name's Paige.
Paige, okay. That's a very Star Warsy name, so that's
Paige.
good.
Does not sound Star Warsy at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm interested I'm interested to see what kind of role Vice Admiral Holdo has, because what I've heard is that she's kind of an antagonist to Leia. So it'll be interesting. I mean, especially since Carrie Fisher's passing, it's like if Laura Dern's character is kind of mean to her, you're almost gonna get defensive of Princess Leia. I feel like, at least, you don't want anyone messing with our girl. But I for the DJ thing being Dark Jedi, I think that's way too on the nose for them to reveal this.
It does feel on the nose, yeah.
I mean, for all it could mean Dagobah Jedi, like the guys from Dagobah. He is like the first, like D can mean anything. I'm not gonna keep going into it, but like what I've heard, what I think about him. I mean, okay, everyone's wish for his character is, okay, Knight of Ren, all right, bounty hunter, some guy that works with Snoke. But I mean, can we be honest? He's not gonna be a Sith. Like he's just not. Like that's too perfect. I think what I heard is he's a casino owner on Canto Bight, and what I threw out in my sort of video about all this stuff is that imagine like a dark James Bond, where like he has like this. I hate using this word because the one guy from Collider uses it all the time, but he has like this gravitas to him. That word's a joke now, but where like he you're kind of rooting for him, even it's I guess kind of an anti-hero. Like you kind of like he has this swagger to him, and I mean they describe this planet Canto Bight as a James Bond Monte Carlo type. So I mean maybe DJ is sort of like a hustler, like ladies' man kind of guy, but he looks kind of dirty. Maybe underground in that picture, so I'm not sure, but I kind of compared him to like a anti James Bond, where he's not a good guy, but he has the same qualities as James Bond. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, and I think DJ could also be like a metaphor for something, like he's the DJ of this certain thing, you know, kind of like in control of something maybe. I don't know, but I don't think it's Dark Jedi. That seems too on the nose.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And then going to Kelly Marie Tran's character named Rose Tico, Ryan Johnson said that there's really not going to be like a huge romance in this movie, but I mean, maybe she and Finn could have one. But I'm pretty sure Kelly Marie Tran's got about 12 years in age on John Boyega, so I don't know if that matters about Star Wars. But
well, I think like
40.
I mean, Harrison Ford was like 32 or something, and Carrie Fisher was 19 in the first Star Wars. So I guess maybe, but I don't know. Who knows? But I kind of assumed that they would be romantic interests. I feel like there was going to be at least one sort of, even if it's not like a major like plot point, I think that there will be some sort of romance within it, because that's Star Wars. There's always that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of there's like always we didn't really get a romance in Force Awakens, but why does it not show
I feel like
her age anymore?
Throughout like the trilogies, there's always kind of like a sort of love story that goes on, you know, because like love, I mean, it's always in like every story you can tell. There's almost love is in some way in there, you know. So
okay, Kelly Marie Tran's age is not online. Like it's not on her Wikipedia.
She's a ghost.
Yeah, honestly. But yeah, I mean, I think all three of these new characters are gonna be really cool, in my opinion. I'm definitely most excited for DJ. I mean, ever since this guy was cast, I've been like super interested in who Benicio del Toro is playing, because he's such a good character. And like Tanner said, with what's his name in Guardians, the Time Master,
Collector.
Time Master is Jeff Goldblum's character, right?
I don't know.
Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I mean, I did not like him in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I didn't like the character either. So I'm hoping they don't like just kind of use him in that way. But yeah, I think all three of these characters are gonna be really interesting. I definitely think Paige dies like immediately, and I think that's a reason why Rose wants to get into this fight, is because I mean, this was thrown at Collider, Jedi Council last night, but the scene where Phasma is boarding some kind of resistance ship and the explosion, it's assumed that Paige maybe dies there.
Yeah, that's a good point. I haven't thought about that, but now that you say that, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And speaking of Rose and Finn, so another part of the Vanity Fair article said Rose and Finn's adventure takes them to, among other places, another Johnson invention, a glittering casino city called Canto Bight. A Star Wars Monte Carlo type environment, a little James Bondish, a little to catch a thief, said the director. In my video, I called it Canto Blight the whole time, so now I feel like a really big idiot. And then some other little details about Canto Bight is that this is where viewers will experience their, quote, multi-species fix of gnarled aliens and other grotesque creatures, a comic relief staple of Star Wars movies since Luke Skywalker first met Han Solo amid the cankerous and snouty inhabitants of the Mos Eisley Cantina. There's a lot of hard words to say in that sentence, guys. But, Josh, what do you think about this Canto Bight place? Are you excited for it? Have you seen any of the set pictures? Just kind of what are your overall anticipations for this planet?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited for it. It's always great to see something kind of different, and it'll probably be reminiscent of the Mos Eisley Cantina and stuff like that. And like you said earlier, the Attack of the Clones, the Death Stick scene. But yeah, it's always cool to see new things. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I'm excited.
How great would it be if they have the actor from Episode 2, Death Sticks, be back, 40, not 40. Yeah, crap. Let's see. 20 years from then to 50 years older. He's like,
I'd start screaming. I'd start screaming in theater. I'd be so happy.
I feel like that's something Rian Johnson would do if he thought about it too. Like he'd be like, yeah, let's get that guy. That'd be great. Tanner, how about you? What are your kind of overall anticipations and hype level and just thoughts about Canto Bight so far?
Well, what's cool about this is it's something completely different that we've never really gotten in a Star Wars movie. Like, especially the original trilogy and The Force Awakens, we have never really focused on, the high society or the upper class of Star Wars. It's always usually the rebels, which are, the ground, the dirt, the lower people, and then there's the Empire, which is the government. And I would say that the prequels are the only time we ever really got a taste of what the upper class in Star Wars is like, and I think that we might get some more of that with this, with Casino 7. Looking at how the people are dressed in those pictures, and I think it looks really cool. And it looks really different, and I think that's one of the great things about Rian Johnson is he's going to introduce new and unique things. He's a very unique director, and you're definitely going to get a Rian Johnson movie, and I think that he's going to introduce a lot of cool new things, and I think this is one of them. And it's something really interesting because I've never even thought of the idea of a casino in Star Wars, so this is really cool.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think when we're going to get into it more because there are some pictures from Canto Bight that we're going to go into one by one, but yeah, I definitely I have the same opinion that you guys have, where I think anything new in Star Wars is I'm game for, because a lot of times in Star Wars you have this problem where one planet is one climate. So Hoth is snow.
Yeah.
Endor is forest. Jakku and Tatooine are sand. Just name any other planet is pretty much a singular thing. So I think Canto Bight maybe it can be one of those things where it's it's a city. Maybe there's more to it. Coruscant was a freaking city, planet. How?
And
how is that possible?
That is something that, I don't love the prequels or anything, but there are certain things that are in them that I would like to see again. And Coruscant definitely is one of those things like that. And because a lot of the planets that we've gone to have been very there's barely anyone there. There's not a ton of people on Tatooine. There's not a ton of people on Jakku. There's no one really on Hoth except for the Abominable Snowman and the rebels. So something like a giant city filled with people, and that seems really cool to me. So
yeah, did you get a chance to read Catalyst?
Me?
Yeah.
I know I have the audiobook. I have not gotten to it yet.
audiobook's
I'm reading
good.
Lost Stars right now.
Oh, Lost Stars is amazing.
Lost Stars
Yeah,
is
I'm-
the reason this podcast exists.
It really
short
is.
story. Like,
Yeah,
was
I
like,
haven't.
Go ahead.
I was like, I haven't read a ton of the books. I've been keeping up with the comics, but
Mhm.
the books have taken me a while because usually like it's a lot to commit with the books and stuff. But I have like all of the canon ones written down there. I've read New Dawn when that first came
I
out,
haven't read New Dawn.
and
I like it.
but Lost Stars, I was like, that's the next one I'm doing. I definitely have to, because everyone that I know has said that it's incredible.
Dude, it's
so
my favorite book
super
ever.
that is high praise. Yeah,
Yeah.
I literally just started, like still first chapter. But after that, I'm probably gonna dive into Catalyst and then
Catalyst is
rewatch
good. The reason I ask you if you've read Catalyst is because some of the coolest stuff is on Coruscant there, and it really
Yeah.
like ties in. It's the most in-depth Coruscant that we've seen after prequels. So, I mean, you have some stuff. I guess, Josh, technically it is during the prequels, isn't it?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, never mind. But it's a different point of view, I guess. And
Yeah.
I mean, even in the episode 6 special edition when we see Coruscant, like I don't dislike that part.
No,
Because, of
yeah,
course,
I
they would be
really
cheering.
like Coruscant. Yeah,
Coruscant.
it feels like a cool city, and I kind of like that. It's something kind of unique.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And then one more thing we're gonna get into, or just a little bit of news before we go into each of these pictures, is that so Pablo Hidalgo was saying how Lucasfilm refers to the lightsaber that was created by Anakin, passed on to Luke, and now Rey as Rey's own lightsaber. They don't call it Anakin's or Luke's; they call it Rey's lightsaber. So, Josh, do you have any opinion on that? Like, do you think it's significant? Do you want Rey to build her own lightsaber? Do you want her to keep this one? What are your kind of overall thoughts on this?
I would rather have Rey build her own, and give that one back to Luke. But I'm fine with it.
Sell
I mean-
it back to him like GameStop. So I got this for free. I'll give you 2 death sticks for this, maybe. I don't know.
Not one death stick, but you know how GameStop
You owe
is.
me death sticks now. Actually, that's the thing.
Yeah. But yeah, that was. I hope she gives the lightsaber back to Luke. Like retires the lightsaber, kind of in a way. Like it just kind of
Retires
goes. Like that's what I hope, something like that. But I hope she builds her own lightsaber. I hope in her training montage scene, or her Rocky training montage.
Dude,
build the light-
they could have her climb the mountain like Rocky 4, and then just
Yeah,
scream like Kylo at the very end of it instead of Drago, Kylo.
Yeah, we've talked about this before.
Yeah, we actually have.
She needs to run to that top of the mountain and scream Kylo. Dude, you could have Kylo training or Snoke training Kylo. You'd have Snoke training Kylo, and like the Ivan Drago training scene, and then you could have Luke training Rey. It would be amazing.
Then you have that rumored Michael B. Jordan as Boba Fett come in, and you realize he really is Adonis Creed, is Boba Fett. And then you have Rocky, a.k.a. Sylvester Stallone's character from Guardians, coming to Star Wars, and you have so many crossovers in one. Marvel,
Honestly,
Disney,
I'd perfectly
sign
fine
us
with
up. We just created a Rocky verse with Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy. So
I'd be perfectly
that just
fine
happened, guys. That just happened. Sorry, Josh, I kind of interrupted you a little bit.
No, it's fine. No, it's fine. I'm always good talking about Rocky, but yeah. So, yeah, I want them to retire the lightsaber, and I want Rey to build her own lightsaber. That's basically what I wanted to happen.
Do you want it to be a single bladed or double bladed?
Single bladed. I don't think it would be. I would rather single bladed.
What about that staff though? Why was she trading with the staff? Plagueis the staff, as we all thought.
Yeah, it plagues his staff. I don't know. I mean, the staff doesn't mean anything at this point. Is it just a staff she had on Jakku? Like, do you think it actually means something? The staff?
I don't know. I mean, if we find out that Plagueis is Snoke, which there's like a 0.01% chance. Why was there 2 points? A 0.001% chance. Then maybe, but I mean, it probably means nothing, even though we've done so many hours of talking about that the freaking staff could mean. Damn it! Now I'm angry. But yeah. So Tanner, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that I see her having the lightsaber throughout The Last Jedi. But I feel like a part of her training would be to eventually build her own. So maybe in the third one, kind of like Luke in Return of the Jedi, eventually she has a new one when she finishes her training. Or maybe like she never like technically does, or something happens to Luke and she just never gets to that part and she keeps it forever. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But I would like to see her have her own unique lightsaber because I feel like because like that lightsaber, even though they're calling it Rey's lightsaber, it'll never really feel like it is just Rey's lightsaber because it was Anakin's and then it was Luke's, and it's something that it is the most iconic of all of the lightsabers. So I think it'd be kind of cool that like maybe like it comes and goes throughout
it's in
all
every
like
Star Wars
the
movie
episodes.
kind of thing.
Yeah, it doesn't even have to be in every Star Wars movie, but just like every like from years from now, like it always comes and goes. It always finds its way back there, back into the story. It could be gone for maybe like an entire trilogy and then come back eventually. Like I think that's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of like this baton that's just passed all
Literally.
the time, and I think it'd be kind of cool. But I do think that Rey eventually needs to have her own. I think it would be cool if she builds it within the staff. Like that'd be something unique.
That would be cool.
But yeah, I do think I'm fine with her having it like the entire Last Jedi. But I think eventually I'd like to see her have her own unique one.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this whole story is who's the owner of the lightsaber. I mean, what if the owner of the lightsaber is the Force? Like the Force is who chooses. I mean, and we even see this in Episode 7. I mean, the Force pretty much chose Rey. Because when she touched it, she had that Force, whatever you would like to call it. And the Force really is this lightsaber because the Force created Anakin. The Force, Anakin is the reason why we have all this. And the Force, the midichlorian, not saying the word. The Force is like kind of the reason why all this is happening. So maybe, the Force is really what wields that lightsaber. So that's just some thought. And Tanner actually just was talking about how Luke building his lightsaber in Return of the Jedi. And that's actually a good segue to our next story because Vanity Fair's Joanna Robinson received some interesting details about the reason why Luke's lightsaber is green in Episode 6. Robinson caught up with Pablo Hidalgo, one of the members of Lucasfilm's story group, and he revealed a previously unknown reason for why the lightsaber color was changed. Hidalgo said, quote, "The intent of the lightsaber was going to be blue." He explained of a story that was passed into the Star Wars lore. In that universe, at the time, as far as anyone knew, lightsabers were red or they were blue. But Luke's weapon was changed to green, so it would stand out against the bright blue sky and yellow sand in the scenes, such as a Jedi's daring rescue of Han, Leia, and the rest. As much as we like the mythology, why it's green, and what all that signifies, Hidalgo explained, sometimes there are very pragmatic filmmaking reasons behind these things. So Tanner, what are your thoughts on, the lightsabers only pretty much being green so they would stick out and that actually being a practical reason as much as a story reason?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, that sounds something like the George Lucas would do. He'd be like, I want it to be green just because it would look cool. That makes sense. Like, when you're making a movie, I guess you don't necessarily have all that mythology built, so why not just have it green? But then I guess, like, the prequels, they kind of went in there like, well, they're green for, like, this. I don't know all the reasons, but I know that, like, certain colors mean different things. Yeah, if you're a certain level, you're green, though. I always wondered why Obi-Wan only had blue all the time. He never had green. Yeah. I was always curious about that.
Well,
but, yeah.
I was just going to say, according to the Ahsoka the Ahsoka book, lightsabers kind of change the lightsaber crystals are due to its owners. So lightsabers are blue if the Jedis are meant to be Jedi Knights, and that's when Anakin and Obi-Wan, most of the Jedi were. But if lightsabers are meant to be a different color, that's because of the user that creates them because kyber crystals are clear when they are found.
Yeah.
And they change due to the wielder of the lightsaber. So why Ahsoka's and Ezra's is green and Obi-Wan and Anakin's aren't, I'm not really sure. That's always kind of bugged me, but yeah. That's just a little
I wish there was a more definitive answer. And also, like, if you're like Sith, doesn't it, like, when you touch it, it bleeds or something? That's why it's red.
It bleeds. Yeah.
Yeah, or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I get it. Like, that's fine. It's cool. It makes sense. There's not always a big mythology behind something. Sometimes it's just George one thought that would look cool.
I mean, and I guess the blue lightsaber. I mean, it could have been a technical, like terror, filming with the blue sky with a blue lightsaber. You might have been able to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that, just they wanted to stick out, and that makes sense.
Pink lightsaber.
Purple,
Yeah,
like Samuel L. Jackson.
Sponsored by Barbie. Josh, what do you think of this?
It makes sense. It makes sense why it's green. That's fine.
That's
I mean,
fine.
there's not really much to say. It's just, yeah, it's cool. That's perfect.
I
It's a
mean,
good-
I think it's. I always like hearing these behind the scenes stuff. This was something I didn't have no idea about.
Yeah,
I just
I like
thought
hearing
it was
Yeah,
like an
me
evolution of
either.
a color, and I think it's cool to. I mean, it takes away a little bit from your story, but if you were like a 2-year-old and you're like, I want an Anakin to be good. Like, I'm not gonna listen to the reasons why he's gonna be bad. I wanted to just know this lightsaber was green because Luke made it that way. I didn't want to know, that the movie magic was a little bit not as magical because they needed to do this, blah blah blah. But I personally like hearing the behind the scenes things because I mean it's so interesting, all the Star Wars, from it not being. I mean, Star Wars should not have been successful. Like all this stuff, I really like knowing the behind the scenes.
Yeah, same.
Yes, and then so our last piece of news before we go into these pictures. This is actually really interesting, and I guess a potential spoiler alert, but nothing big because I wouldn't put that in here. But Vanity Fair caught up with director Rian Johnson, and he was talking a little bit about the title, The Last Jedi. And I'm gonna read some back and forth between the guy and Rian Johnson. So we're just gonna call the Vanity Fair guy VF. VF. Did you think of the title, Rian Johnson? That was the very first thing when I had not even written the script. When I was coming up with the story, I had that title. So I have had that title in my head for years now. I was so terrified that someone would guess it. It seemed like an obvious title. Every time a fake title would leak, I would hold my breath and click on the title and click on the link and be like, oh no, did they get it? But luckily we were able to put it out ourselves. VF. So is Jedi plural or singular? Rian Johnson. See, that's the funny thing. I heard that in the foreign translations for the title, they made it plural, and in my head, it's singular. It makes sense with the story to me that it's singular. VF, are you going to tell me who the Last Jedi is? Ryan. It's weird because I never even thought of it as the big question, but I love that people are speculating about it, so I don't want to crush that under my heel. I never thought that everyone was going to be like, oh, is it blank? Is it Luke? Is it Rey? Ryan. I never thought of it that was going to be the question. I am partially because the answer, and this is going to sound like I'm being coy, but I swear it's not, is you have to see the movie. It's not as simple as saying this person is haha. Is a little more complicated than that, and I guess I can say this, that when no, I'm not going to say anything. VF, come on, the train has left the station. Rian Johnson. One would think, let's say this, that at the end of episode 8, it refers to Luke because of the notion that this is religion, that his religion has died out and he is the last of them. Vanity Fair said, one would think, Ryan, one would think. So just to kind of skip through a little bit of that, I think the last part, saying at the end of episode 8, Luke is the last Jedi, is the big part of this article. Tanner, is there anything else you take away? Kind of, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I love Rian Johnson so much, and I love the all like that's the thing that gets me so excited for The Last Jedi is all the sort of Jedi mythology that we're gonna get. Like it's just I love like diving deep, like even going back to like the Old Republic stuff, like all of that stuff. I love the mythology of the Jedi and the Sith and all of that, and to dive more into that is so exciting. And then that Luke is potentially the last one, like that's just it gives me chills just thinking about it. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely. I mean, there's definitely stuff that he's sort of being kind of vague about because we have to watch the movie to find out, and we don't necessarily want him to give away certain stuff. So, yeah, I think it's really cool. I really love Rian Johnson, and I have so much faith in everything that he's going to do. And yeah, I thought this was really cool.
Yeah, I agree with you. You really don't want him. I mean, like all the questions that people ask is like, "Who is Snoke? Oh, he is this. Oh, wait, you just like ruined the whole movie. Now we hate you, even though we just ask you specifically who that is. You wouldn't really want him to say much. So
Let the movie do the talking.
yeah. I definitely agree with that. Even though like like you want to tease, but fans like us are gonna dissect every freaking thing, so you really want to be very like I don't know. I don't think I could keep it as under wraps as these people do. Honestly,
No, they're doing it perfectly so far, in my opinion.
yeah, I agree with you. As long as they put out some stuff. I mean, Rogue One didn't really have much, but I think there's already more coming out for Last Jedi than there was for Rogue One, which is good for people like us. But yeah, Josh, what do you kind of take away from this?
I think about the title. First thing is, so we all know Episode 9 is going to be called Path of the Jedi, right? Episode 9, Path of the Jedi.
You honestly like it's not even funny at this point, dude. Like it's just not.
I know, but I think
it's just a ride at Disney World. That's all it is at this point.
They should make a ride called Path of the Jedi. I'd be cool with that. That'd be a cool ride.
That's that's what you sign up for a Jedi colonoscopy. That's the Path of the Jedi.
That's pretty funny.
Mini lightsaber.
But yeah, what was it about the story? Yeah, he's very vague about it. He's got to be very vague about it, and he's doing a great job in not giving too much, but giving a tiny bit at the same time that we could dissect and think about. So yeah, he's doing a great job at that kind of stuff. It was a good interview.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the end's kind of a bombshell that
the singular.
That Luke is the Last Jedi. Because I mean, with all these plural translate, I mean, come on, how would they know? And that Japanese poster, it's like Episode 8 will have the biggest reveal ever. It's like it sounds like a 1990s movie trailer, like in a world with the biggest movie trailer or with the biggest movie revelation ever. How would they know that, man? I don't know. Just something about the translations and stuff. I really don't buy. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. I'm glad they didn't really put up a ton, but I mean, these little nuggets of information are what we live for. I mean, finding out the name of Kylo Ren immediately. We're like, okay, Skywalker Solo, Kylo Ren. So they really got to be careful what they put out there. But so now let's go into each of these pictures and just kind of talk about them briefly. What do you guys think, kind of thing. So this first picture is Rey holding her own lightsaber, as we've discussed now. I think it's a really cool picture. It looks different than any cinematography we saw from The Force Awakens. It's darker, and I saying how it the foreshadowing is literally foreshadowing her. Kind of, it's gonna be a darker movie, but just the color of the lightsaber, the blue really sticks out here, and it just looks cool. It looks like a Rian Johnson picture, if that's possible to say.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, great for. It looks amazing.
And I love the whole the lands that them on what's it called?
Act 2.
That island that they're on.
Michael Island.
Yeah. I love all of that, and that how it looks, the aesthetic and all of that, and I think it's just really cool, and I'm super excited for all our training stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go to Skellig Michael personally. I need to visit this place. There at Celebration, there was a fake Visit Island thing, and it had the fake steps, and even that, I'm like, oh,
I didn't even.
Dude, I took a picture of me turning around, like Luke, and it turned out I would look so creepy. I tried turning around, making that cool face that Luke made. Here, I'm gonna find the picture. It's straight, just not what I thought it would be. But yeah, I want to go to Skellig. Okay, I'm sending you guys this picture now. And then the second picture we have is Luke and Rey on Skellig, or on Act 2, I guess we'll call it Act 2, with those kind of huts in the background. Josh, is this do you like this picture, or is it kind of just okay, Rey and Luke?
Yeah, I love seeing photos like this. Of course, I'm gonna love everything that has Luke in it. Do we think that's his house in the background, that hut's where he's been living for the past few years?
I mean, there are a lot of them, so any of them could be.
Okay, maybe that's his storage closet over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the photo.
How about you, Tanner?
This one I would like frame on my wall. I just love old Luke so much, and then plus Rey looks awesome. And yeah, I kind of assumed that was like the little hut that he's staying in. But yeah, this is probably my favorite one out of all of them.
Yeah, I made
Maybe,
this
or
my
top
laptop
two.
background already.
Ooh, I should do that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
still have-
I moved on my icons from the far right to the far, or from the far left to the far right. So now it's kind of weird for me, but yeah, it's a cool one. It's fine. Like you want to see them together, and like they're finally together, because like
And old Luke is just so cool. Like it's
Old
just
Luke
such
is
a
badass.
because it's kind of like Star Wars at this point feels like a kind of like it's like a show in a way, like because
I
it's
don't
been
Star
going on for
Wars.
so long. It's just to see like him grow this much. Like no character really has gone through in like the history of movies like this much. So it's so cool.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys get that picture I sent you?
It is downloading on my phone.
It's pretty.
No, I didn't get it yet.
Really? I sent it to Josh.
No,
Josh, your phone number starts with 561, right?
yeah.
Okay. Anyways, you guys can guess Josh's phone number if you want to figure out the last 7 digits. But
We'll put the rest of it on the screen for you to call.
if you guys
Him at
listen to
all.
the end of the podcast, we'll say it. Yeah, so this picture of Luke, it's so cool. The only thing that annoys me is it looks like in the very background you can see some kind of production thing, and I kind of hate when you mix production and like makes me like I don't know. I thought that this was it would have been cooler if it was just like straight some like a still from the movie. I don't know. Do you guys know what I mean?
Yeah, I got
Like
you.
that little thing in the back. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I get it.
it's like my second favorite picture. My favorite picture is the one of Rey with a lightsaber. It's just so cool. And then moving on to the next picture, this picture makes me laugh just because of Chewbacca's face, and it's Chewbacca and Rey sitting in the Falcon. And when I was recording my video for this, I'm like, wait, what? Rey has a new lightsaber in her side, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is happening? How could they like leak this? And then I'm thinking, and I'm like, oh wait, okay, no, that looks sort of like a gun. Oh, it's the gun Han gave her. And I'm like, whew, I'm glad they didn't just blow that. That I would have been pretty pissed off. But like, it looked like a cool lightsaber. I'm not gonna lie. If you
It
think
does
of it that
kinda,
way.
Yeah.
But just Chewbacca's face here looks funny to me, and I don't know why. It's just
Yeah.
it makes me laugh. But it's
This
cool to
one
see.
makes me sad, just because like there's no Han Solo there.
Yeah,
Chewie.
yeah, that's definitely the
Oh man.
silver
Yeah.
lining. Yeah, Tanner's never gonna kind of fully heal from Han's death. Are you, Tanner?
No, it's something that'll haunt me. Like I'll be on my deathbed,
It's gonna haunt
and I'll be like,
you.
and I'll just be like, oh, at least I'll be with Han now. You know?
Give my son to stab me so I can go the way Han went.
Yeah. So sad. Forever.
Do you
we'll
own
miss him.
anything Kylo Ren?
Do I own? I don't think I do, but that's not on purpose. I think I own like one of the pops of him. I do. That I got those like little bobblehead things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kylo Ren. I think he has a cool like look to him, and I think that character is an incredibly cool, interesting character. I'm just so sad.
He's just a little bitch to you.
Yeah, I just like forever. I'll forever be haunted by that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Solo Han, because he's gone.
He's dead. Right.
The Bat is dead. The Han is dead. Period. Just kidding. He can't because he exploded. Han. Okay, you know what the thing Han has with like the characters from Rogue One? They're all Stardust.
I see.
That's too soon.
It's
Huh?
ghosted way too soon. You could have told that like 30 years from now, and I would still say too soon.
Becomes literal Stardust. That's messed up. But yeah, Josh, what do you think of this picture?
Oh, I love it. I think this is one of my favorite photos for sure. I think it's great. Just the lighting in the background of the sky looks great. The Chewbacca and Rey. I love this photo.
Me too. It makes me think that they're flying, and I'm like, guys, have your eyes on the sky. They're gonna
Yeah, hands on the wheel.
It's gonna crash into Luke's like island on Act 2, and then Luke's gonna be like, I guess I am the Last Jedi now. Titles like credits roll. That's how the Last Jedi ends. That's what it means.
All of his Padawans were in the huts that looked like Rey.
They were all in the Millennium Falcon.
He just like he says that he's like now I'm the Last Jedi, then just like winks at the screen because it's singular.
I'm
Yeah.
the Last Jedi. Okay, I don't even know what we come up with on this show. Like it, just every weird thing we talk about. You know, the Rocky training thing on Act 2. It all evolves at the planet Act 2. So they better pull some really cool stuff. You know, on Act 2, or we're gonna be disappointed because we have so many great ideas, obviously. But moving on, so we can actually talk about something real. The next picture we have is Leia, Poe, Finn, and Rose, and BB-8. Can't forget BB-8. What I've been saying here is that Leia's collar reminds me of Ryan Gosling's collar in Blade Runner 2049. It's that big collar kind of thing, almost like a turtleneck with a split down the middle. But Poe, man, Poe looks like Han. Poe looks so much like Han Solo.
He does look like Han, and that's the one thing I will say is if they can add more Poe into The Last Jedi than he was in The Force Awakens, because like with Han gone, we need that like cool presence. And Oscar Isaac, yes, and Oscar Isaac is so cool.
Dude, it's even the same undershirt as Han Solo.
I know.
It's the same like part in it.
He like Oscar Isaac, man. He's so cool. I wish I was Oscar Isaac.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
I wish I was Oscar Isaac's uncle who was in Force Awakens.
Yeah, I wish I was just good friends with Oscar Isaac. He seems like he'd be a great friend.
Yeah, yeah. Going back to your thing where you said you wish he was in Force Awakens more, I agree with you. Although he was originally supposed to be killed when the ship crashed.
Yeah, I read that.
So that being said, I think we got a pretty good amount for a script rewrite. You know.
Yeah, and they couldn't have really added more of him. That movie's already like long enough and tight enough and everything. So, but I'm just saying, like, hopefully there's more of him in this than there was in the Force Awakens.
Yeah, definitely more. I think him because there is. They said that there's gonna be a scene where Leia slaps Poe, so I think that would probably be pretty cool.
That's also makes him even more like Han. That's something she would do to Han.
What if she starts to like date him?
That'd be weird. To
like,
be honest,
she slaps him and be like, Han, I mean Poe, my bad.
That would be a bit on the nose, but yeah.
I mean, it would be like when Cassian gets slapped by a K2. Man, that scene was improv. Did you know that in Rogue One?
I did not.
Yeah, like if you watch it again, you can see Diego Luna like cover his mouth laughing. Yeah. Like he's laughing then because he didn't see it coming.
I love that shot.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's like my favorite part of the movie. K2, man. I love K2. I have this Black Series figure, and I have a raised lightsaber, like a little prop of it, and I put it in K2's hand because it's so badass with that guy holding a lightsaber, like you don't even know. But going back to this picture, Josh, which character kind of stands out to you?
I think like you guys said, Poe, because he does look a lot like Han in this photo. I don't know what this BB-8 just down there, BB-8 just looks ignored in this photo. I don't know why. That's what I think
darkness, my old friend.
Yeah. Yeah, but and then Leia, that's the cool shot of Leia. I wish we just had the photo of just Leia there. Like that would have been cool, little photo. But yeah, that's a cool photo. I like this one. I like all the photos are great. So
all the photos are great. That's very in depth, Josh.
Well, I mean, we'll go through them, but I'm saying they're all great. Like I don't think one of them are bad.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
I just cropped this picture and tweeted it on Twitter, obviously, with the caption Han and Lando, with just Oscar and Finn, because I mean,
they do have
definitely be
cool guy
Han
vibes.
and Lando, especially with Oscar Isaac.
Cool guy vibes.
That guy, like he looks more. Dude, he even has the blaster in his side. Like, the guy looks. I mean, he could have played him in the Han Solo movie. Like,
and I would not have complained at all. Absolutely not.
That Tanner, I wish it was Oscar Isaac. Nice tweet. But yeah, I mean, I think Rose looks cool. No one's really talked about Rose. I think she looks cool. She's sort of a maintenance worker. That's what they said about her.
Yeah, I think all the pictures look really cool.
Mm-hmm. Me too. So going on to our next one, This is, when we were talking about sort of like this upper 1% of Star Wars and Canto Bight, not really much to talk about here besides the guy at the top, Pablo Hidalgo, said it's not a Bothan, which sucks. Why can't it be a fucking Bothan? But the guy on the far right, I think, looks like, Wampa's cousin. So that's all I gotta say for this. You guys have anything to say?
These people look crazy. They all look like they were like all dressed by Lady Gaga.
Right? Like weird
I can't wait
Katy
to
Perry thing.
Looks like a Met Gala.
Right,
These are just. Is this Star Wars or just pictures from the Met Gala? I can't tell.
That could be like a new meme.
I can't wait to
see Met Gala. You heard it here first.
Copyright.
Trademarked. Josh, you have anything to say?
I can't wait to see.
These are kind of the least talk out of the photos.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't wait to see these characters in motion. That's basically it. I mean, they look really weird. So
yeah, they do. I mean, set pictures like we saw. I don't know if you guys saw, but like the first image of Alden Ehrenreich's Han Solo was kind of put out, and it looks weird just because it's not like an actual. It's like but production pictures always don't look right.
Yeah.
But in the film, they normally do.
Yeah, it looks a lot better usually.
And then in the next picture, we have the same kind of thing. Although the two things that stick out to me is the girl on the far left. What is up with her hair? She got a big towel thing. It looks like she's so many napkins on top of her head. And then the girl in the middle looks like Lana Del Rey with the kaleidoscope dress. And in my video, I'm like, Lana Del Rey? Wait a minute. But that has no connection. And speaking of singers, the guy next to her looks like Childish Gambino's album cover. With like the headdress, but a little bit different.
I see that. Mm-hmm.
Awaken my Canto Blight. Bites. Damn it! I keep saying Canto Blight. But do you guys have anything to say? Anything more to say about this?
Nah.
Yeah, not the girl on the far right with like a cone head looks sort of like Star Trek to me.
It does look kind of Star Trek-y, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Josh, anything?
no, not really. It's same thing I said for the last photo.
Yeah, and then next one, it's just C-3PO and R2. Anything about that one? I don't know if there's much to say.
Just cool behind the scenes stuff. Anthony Daniels.
It's cool. He's cool. He's still doing C-3PO.
Yeah, he's really cool. I really like him. I got to meet him once. He was really nice, and he's just like he loves Star Wars and he loves being a part of it, and that's so cool.
You also got to meet Mark Hamill, didn't you?
I did, yes.
And you got him to sign your Empire poster.
I did, I got to sign the Empire Strikes Back poster. Now I have him, Chewie, C-3PO, Boba Fett.
They have names, Tanner. Come on.
Oh yeah,
they're actual people.
Not everyone would know their actual names, but yeah, the only ones that I don't have the only one that I don't have that I feel like I have to have, but I'll probably never get would be Harrison Ford. And I waited in line for Carrie Fisher's last year, but I was sick and the line was 5 hours long, so I got out of line after a while. Kind of regret that now, but
dude, she
yeah.
If this movie came out in May instead of this Christmas, I would have met Carrie Fisher because I saw on the news it's like Carrie Fisher's coming to Denver Comic-Con. I'm like, I didn't even know Denver Comic-Con was a thing. I bought my tickets to see Carrie Fisher. Then they delayed episode 8, so they changed the production times, and she had to cancel. And then I would have seen her at Star Wars Celebration, presumably, and due to circumstances, I wasn't able to see her either, and that sucks. But
yeah,
I saw Mark Hamill at Celebration. I went to his memorial for Carrie Fisher.
You did?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That's gotta be really cool.
Have you heard my thing about that?
No.
So I didn't get into Last Jedi at all. It was dude, the Celebration was a kind of a mess in all honesty. But
very unorganized.
Yeah, it was local Comic-Cons are a lot better. But which sounds weird to say.
Yeah, I get that because it's so big. Yeah, I understand how it can be kind of messy.
The auditoriums were so small, which is what pissed me off. I don't want to get into it, but the main the Galaxy stage was it was just an auditorium, and people brought they brought in chairs. Like it was not like a movie theater kind of dome thing. There was one that was like that, which was so cool, but they didn't have many things there. Anyways, I didn't get into anything. We were just waiting for me. Do you know Gabe on Twitter?
I think so. Yeah, I know a Gabe.
Based
Yes.
Carbanzo. He and I were
Yes.
chilling there, and then Zakinski, and then Keenan, the geek Keenan, and I were all chilling, waiting. Didn't know what to do, and I see Keenan. So I'm like, Keenan, I gotta go to the bathroom. He's like, all right, I gotta go too. So we go to the bathroom. I get out before Keenan, and I see this line. I don't have my phone or anything. I'm like, screw it, I'm getting in the line. Like, I'm so pissed off. I hadn't gotten anything today. I'm hungry. I get in this line, and I'm like, I scream at Keenan. I'm like, yo, can you bring me my backpack and stuff? I'm going to wait in this line. I don't know what it's for, but I'm waiting in this line. And I get in line, and then someone's like, okay, the next 200 people will get into the Mark Hamill panel. I thought it was the live stream of it, because what they do is they have the actual panel, and then they have a place where you can watch the live stream of it, which is stupid, because you can just do that at home, and it's better, and it's more convenient. And you don't feel angry because I'm in the same building as George Lucas, but I can't actually see him, which is the most frustrating thing ever. But so I get into this auditorium. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be the live stream of Mark Hamill. That's fine. I wouldn't be able to see it if I wasn't in this room. That's cool. And then Warwick Davis walks out. I'm like, because sometimes they have moderators for the live streams if it's like a popular one. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yes, Warwick was at the live stream for the Rebels one.
Yeah, for Rebels. Yeah, he's really cool. And then they're like, everyone, please welcome Mark Hamill, and I'm like, oh shit, what? How am I here? Like, because what happens is you got to get these wristbands, and they sold out immediately in the morning. So I snuck into Mark Hamill with no wristband, hands in my pockets, like no idea how I got there. Like the highlight of my celebration, pretty much. Like I don't know how it happened, but it was so
awesome.
Cool. It was such a nice thing. He was a great ambassador for Carrie. But anyways, speaking of Mark and Carrie, the next picture we see here is a black and white picture of Rian Johnson, Mark Hamill, Kathleen Kennedy, Gary the dog, another dog, and Carrie Fisher, and seemingly some new ship in the background. I love this picture because I don't know, it makes it looks like they're a family here, and
definitely.
That's what makes me happy here. And I don't know,
family's the perfect
Luke
word.
just looks like Luke.
He looks like he looks like he's like happy there, you know?
Yeah, it's like happy Luke, not Ray. Like he's a new Han Solo. He's like Ray. Like I don't want
Jedi
you
have to end.
I was good talking to my fish. Like you crashed into my ship, killed all my younglings again. I thought that was my dad's job. But it's a really cool picture.
Yeah, totally.
Josh, what do you think?
Yeah, great photo. I love the photo seeing Mark and Carrie together. So yeah, I love this photo.
Yeah, me too. It's cool seeing like characters with like director. Like I don't know, that looks cool. Whose dog is that? Not Gary. I couldn't even see Gary the first time, but the guy. Okay, so Gary mixes with Leia's suit, and the other dog like blends it with Luke's costume. Like I couldn't see it at first, but maybe dogs are like Star Wars.
There's another dog there.
Yeah, I didn't even see Gary.
I didn't even see that. Oh.
No. Because it's in black and white, the black dog, like, it mixes in. But, anyways, our next photo is such a nice picture. Like, such a nice picture. Billy Lord and Carrie Fisher. If I was Billy, I would make this my lock screen, everything. Like this is such a, and I'm sure she has, this is such a beautiful picture. Tanner, what do you think of it?
Yeah, kind of the same. Like it's a really touching picture. All the pictures of Carrie in here are kind of bittersweet, and that one especially, mother and daughter. That's just it's an emotional picture, But yeah, kind of pretty much agree with pretty much everything you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Josh, any other thoughts on it? Kind of hard to explain anything else, but
this is a great photo. The Billy Lord photo is amazing. It's really nice that they took this photo, and yeah, that's great. I feel like, I don't know, when I first saw this photo, I felt like Billy Lord was just kind of there one day, like checking on her, like hanging out with her mom, and I feel like Carrie was like told the people, like, can I just get one like professional photo of me and Billy? Like, I don't know why. Like, that's the only thing. Like, I don't think they would take a photo of Carrie and Billy, like of Billy, like in for Vanity, but I feel like Carrie told them like I want one photo, like professional photo of me and Billy together, like me and my dog together.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
She wouldn't even ask. She'd be like, "Give me the photographer now."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Yeah, and then my favorite of all the pictures is the very next one with Luke and Leia. That's my lock screen on my phone. It's so nice. Just finding like those two together, like it gives you all the feels, man. All the feels.
Yeah. It feels a bit more Mark and Carrie than Luke and Leia, to me.
Yeah.
But like not in like a negative way. But like it's
yeah, I see
really
more
great.
Mark than I see Luke there.
Yeah.
She has a cool ring on her hand. I wonder if that means anything.
I have no idea, but I love how these pictures look.
Yeah,
Really nice.
like even like the backgrounds, they're nothing special, but they're still great pictures.
They look very professional, even though there's nothing really in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Josh, anything else about this one?
The Luke and Carrie one.
Yeah.
Luke and Carrie. I mean, Mark and Carrie. Yeah, this photo is amazing. This is my favorite photo out of all of the photos. I love this photo. I think it's great just seeing them together. So I think that's great. I love this one.
Me too. And then moving on, almost done here. We got Laura Dern's character. Interesting. She got some purple hair. She got pretty. What I said is she looks like a kind of a prequel-esque dress going on. Josh, anything cool here? I mean, it's cool to see her finally.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it looks like she's, I don't know why, but it looks like she fits more in with that planet, the casino planet, than anything. Like, I don't know why.
Well, she works with the Republic.
Yeah.
She's an officer.
Well, she does.
Maybe she's like in, like kind of character on Canto Bight as
that
lady,
I can see.
Where she kind of fits in.
She does look like Lady Gaga dressed her, so. So yeah, that. But yeah, it's a good photo. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Tanner, anything else? Jurassic Park mixed with Star Wars.
Yeah, I love Laura Dern. She's great. She looks kind of Guardians of the Galaxy-ish, kind of Thor Ragnarok-y too. But yeah, I think it looks cool. I really like Laura Dern. Excited for her in this movie.
Yeah, me too. I think she's gonna be really good. Speaking of characters we think are going to be really good, next picture we have Benicio del Toro's DJ, or whatever the hell he's called. It looks like he has the same coat as Leia. That's all I know. I mean, like, I don't know where he is. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know when. Like, it's just a picture to me. Like, I don't really know what to say. It almost like it could just be a Heineken ad, in all honesty.
Yeah, I mean, he looks cool.
Yeah, there's really not much else to say besides it looks cool though.
Yeah.
Josh, anything else about DJ Khaled?
Yeah, Benicio looks cool. I love the background. I love seeing this. He looks like he's just like, I don't know. He looks like it looks cool. It looks cool. I'm very excited to see this like in person. I don't know why, but I just have this feeling that he's barely going to be in the movie, kind of like The Collector. I don't know why. I just have that feeling.
I kind of have that feeling too, honestly.
That like everyone's making a big deal that Benicio's in it, but I feel like he's just not even going to be in it for that long.
I mean, I think he'll have a big role. I think he'll probably be in it 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes, exactly.
Which is like, that's not, like, that's a good amount, but, so.
It's not too much, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and then our next photo, we're almost done here. We got a pretty cool one of Kylo Ren, in all honesty. Like, it could have just be a dumb one. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks cool. I like his how he looks more in this one with the kind of cape more than the sort of long thing he wore in The Force Awakens.
I can't even like tell a difference, honestly.
I mean, they're very similar, but this one just is more capey.
More capey.
It looks cleaner.
It's more cape.
I would like a cape that's more capey, please.
It looks shinier. That's the only thing that looks different to me. But like, that photo's awesome. I love seeing this photo of Kylo. It looks great.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I mean his scar's a little bit different, and we see that in the very next picture with. Yeah, might as well go to that last picture
I
with.
can see the scar in the photo. I could kind of see it. I could barely see the scar in the next photo. I don't know if it's my phone or something, but like I could barely see it.
It's pretty clear actually. It's just probably just because it's kind of small in the notes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's cool that he and
Gwendolyn Christie, Captain Phasma.
Yeah, Captain Phasma, Snoke, both don't have their helmets on. I think that's pretty cool.
Agreed. I kind of like that Phasma doesn't have her mask on because she doesn't have to wear that all the time. It's kind of cool to see Gwendolyn Christie's face.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't just cast Gwendolyn Christie to just be in a mask the whole time.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's great seeing. I hope we get more Gwendolyn Christie because she's such a great actress in Game of Thrones. So I'm really hoping we get more of her in Last Jedi than we did Force Awakens. I remember when I saw Force Awakens. When I saw Force Awakens for like the 5th time in theaters, I started counting how many lines she had in the movie.
It was
she had
like 53, right?
No, it was like 27 words. It was something like that. It was something
27
like that.
words.
It was
more.
It might have been 50-something words. I don't remember. I don't remember the count, but I remember I counted every single word she had in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was
FN2187. Submit your blaster for inspection. And who gave you permission to remove that helmet? And then
the
she
first
has,
line. Sir, the prisoners.
Prisoners. Fire.
Fire. No, on my mark, and then fire, and then fire.
Then she's like, seems like FN2187 has crashed in the Goes-On Badlands. No, that was someone else. Then we have her at the very end. She's like, I will not remove the shield. Proceeds to remove the shield.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully there's some kind of ramifications for her removing that shield or taking down the shield in episode 8. Because it's kind of a wussy move, in my opinion.
Yeah. It would be interesting. I don't think we will, but it would be interesting if they did.
Yeah. And then, like, her kind of staff is really cool, I think, in this picture. Like, people have been saying, like, a force pike kind of thing. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think it looks cool. I think they all look really cool. Hux looks pretty cool, too. He looks pissed off.
I'm hoping that we get a little bit more of Hux, or like from Hux, because we haven't really seen. Like he hasn't really done a ton,
But still.
Yeah. So unless there's anything else you guys want to talk about, I think that'll wrap up the show. Josh, have you been? So Josh, no, you've finished Tarkin, or Thrawn. We talked about that last episode.
Yeah.
Have you been reading any of the comics?
I haven't been reading the comics. I'm waiting for like trade paperbacks to come out and like the or when a series is done to like finish the comics, finish reading, like start a series. I want to finish like till all of them are out, because I feel like when like I read a comic, like they're so short that I just forget them by the next time the next issue comes out. So I'm reading them all at once, so it's like a complete story instead of by itself, instead of just each singular issue. But yeah, I'm excited for the Vader comic that's coming out soon. I'm still excited to read the Darth Maul comic. I only have 3 issues. I only have the first 3. I don't know if the 4th one came out yet.
No, it hasn't.
But yeah.
Have you been reading any of the comics?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have been. I've read the majority of them. I'm currently really only the main Star Wars title, but like I read like the Vader until it ended. I read a bit of like Obi-Wan and Anakin. I read the first few issues of the Han Solo one, some of the Princess Leia one at the beginning, and I know that there's the Vader one coming out in June. And then there's also that K2SO and Cassian one in August. I'm going to pick that one up.
Yeah, that one sounds cool too. I'm just most excited for Lord Vader.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like the most. I think that's like the coolest time period for Vader, just like when he's kind of still Anakin.
Well, we saw
Yeah,
that
I get
in Lords
that.
of the Sith, so
A little bit,
if
yeah.
it's anything like Lords of the Sith Vader, I'm super excited for this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want a comic book of Lords of the Sith, honestly.
I would be cool with that. Lords of the Sith was amazing. It was my favorite canon book for a while until Lost
Until Lost
Star.
Stars. Yeah, it was really good. But
Yeah.
So I guess that's gonna do it for this episode of Force Talk. I'd like to thank Tanner for coming on again. Tanner, where can people find you on the social medias?
Thank you for having me. This is really fun. And you can find me on Twitter at Dr. Ghetto Batman.
Dr. Ghetto Batman. And Josh, same as I don't know why I put it in the video description. Like I don't even know why I do it. It's just kind of abrupt to end the show without doing it. But anyways, where can people find you?
Twitter at Josh720 and YouTube Grandma of Josh.
Cool. And you guys can find me on Twitter at the Trainator, and then you can find me on my geeky Instagram at Star Wars Trey. You can find me on VidMe at Star Wars Trey, and you can find me on YouTube. Just type in Star Wars Trey or Trey Mitchell Star Wars. So that'll do it for this episode of Force Talk. Please let us know if you liked it, anything you want us to talk about in the future episodes, any questions, anything. Let us know, and may the Force be with you always.